Mr. President, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure for me to address the 46th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council. This is a renewed opportunity for the OIC to reaffirm its support for the role and the work of the Council and to reiterate its commitment to the promotion and the protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms. This session takes place at a time when the world is facing numerous challenges affecting peace, security, human rights, and development. The coronavirus has had a profound impact in all aspects of life and especially in human rights. It has exacerbated social inequality and vulnerability. Mr. President, in Palestine, the situation has become even grimmer as massive Israeli human rights violation against the Palestinian people, the illegal settlement policy, recurrent assault in holy places, the blockade on Gaza Strip, as well as inhumane treatment of Palestinian prisoners, among other violations, may amount to war crimes. And the only solution is to affirm that the two-state solution and the initiative by the Arabian settlement for a peace process that's been started, and we hope it come to a peaceful and successful conclusion. The OIC affirms in this regard the urgent political and legal action and the need to ensure Israeli respect and full compliance with the provision of international law and enforcement of Geneva Conventions on the occupied Palestine territory, including East Jerusalem. Mr. President, in Jammu and Kashmir, the human rights situation has witnessed further deterioration. The OIC is closely following the development on the ground and urge the international community to upscale efforts towards the settlement of this issue of Jammu and Kashmir and help decisively the people of Kashmir achieve their legitimate rights according to international law. With regard to the conflict of Nagorno-Karabakh, the OIC reiterates its full support for the efforts of Azerbaijan in post-colonial rehabilitation and reconstruction of its liberated territory and call on the international community to extend its assistance to Azerbaijan to enable the return of the displaced persons and ensure peaceful coexistence. OIC also strongly called for the protection of the religious and cultural heritage and sites. Mr. President, the OIC is following with a great concern the situation in the Rohingya Muslim community in Myanmar. It reaffirms its full support for the Muslim Rohingya people and renew its call to ensure their safety and security and to recognize their basic rights, including the right to full citizenship, impunity for genocide against the Rohingya should not be tolerated or ignored, and those responsible for these horrific crimes must be held accountable. The OIC also keen on monitoring the situation of Muslim communities and non-OIC members. In this regard, the OIC is concerned with the situation of Muslims in Sri Lanka as they are denied the right to be buried the bodies of the virus victims following the Islamic rules while adhering to the guidelines of the World Health Organization. The OIC urged the government of Sri Lanka to take swift action to guarantee and respect the right of burial of the Muslim community. Mr. President, in line of the consistent efforts to update refined OIC human rights instruments, the OIC Council of Foreign Ministers adopted during its 47th session held in November 2020 in Niamey, the revised Cairo Declaration of the OIC on Human Rights. Regarding freedom of religion, OIC firmly supports international effort and the global policies geared toward fighting religious intolerance, stigmatization, discrimination, Islamophobia, incitement to violence, and violence against persons based on religious or belief, as underlined in the Human Rights Council Resolution number 1618 and 66167 of the UN General Assembly, both adopted in 2011. These resolutions provide the various substantive action to address the concern related to freedom of religion. In line with the conventions, the OIC has launched in partnership with other stakeholders many interreligious dialogue, such as the Buddhist-Muslim dialogue, the Muslim Orthodox dialogue, and it's engaged in many activities aiming at reinforcing the respect of cultural diversity and the freedom of belief, exploring the avenue of understanding between Muslim and non-Muslims, and promoting the precepts of tolerance and coexistence. Mr. President, the OIC supports all international and regional efforts aimed at preventing violent extremism, terrorism, and combating international terrorism. In order to safeguard global peace and security, it has consistently drawn the attention of member states and the international community to the urgent need to address the root causes and underlying factors of violent extremism and terrorism. The OIC will continue to utilize all platforms to promote pluralism, dialogue among cultures and religion, as well as all respect for tolerance and integration to defeat the forces of bigotry and discrimination. The OIC has created the Voice of Wisdom Center to fight against extremism and terrorism. The center uses an innovative strategy through social media, conveying daily positive messages on topics of concern to the public, especially youth in all member states. I thank you for your kind attention.